Everyone, it's BTMQ back here again with another Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 stream, and we're taking the Cessna Citation Longitude from Changi International Airport, Singapore, to, I'm going to butcher the name here, Soekarno-Hatta International Airport, which is in Jakarta, a city in Indonesia. Right, now I've never used this plane before. Part of the premium deluxe edition of the game, which I got for really cheap. CD Keys is doing the whole thing cheap, and it's for the Windows 10 PC version, but because the game is a play anywhere game on Xbox and PC, so if you buy it on one, you get it for the other. So I bought it from there for Windows 10 PC because it was going cheap, premium deluxe edition, and yeah, I just put the code in onto the Xbox on the Xbox's store, and it gave it to me. It let me get it. So that's pretty cool. I just need get a PC sorted, a good one, so I can start doing all the mods and stuff. But yeah, I've never used this before, so I can tell right away I'm going to need to switch the source GPS. I've changed like the ATC call sign stuff. So first things first, I need to get the power on, but I really need to try and figure out where everything is. This is the first time I've actually been in the cabin. Need to see where all the lights are and stuff. Radar pitch. Not sure. APU starter. Okay, so we've got an APU. That's cool. Engine bleeds. So instead of being an overhead panel, that stuff is here. APU bleeds. Now, the main big thing I really want: speed brakes. Where's flaps? Fuel cross fleet. Fuel switch pump. Guessing it's parking brake. Flaps down here. It's a bit weird, but okay. Which means where is all of our nav stuff? Probably the most important thing I should be looking for is lighting. There's a tiller by the looks of it. Circuit breakers. Map range, barometer. Okay, so we've got a HUD, which is cool. Lights. Alright, here's all the lights. That's good because I'm going to need them shortly because it's getting dark. Alright, now that we've got that out of the way, and there's not too much to the checklist, which is bad. I think they'd flesh it out a bit more. And just quickly before we get this on a roll here, please do let me know in the comments of any suggestions or requests of flights to do. So like give me a departure and a destination. That would be really cool, and maybe an aircraft to use. Anything from the game that's from, like, I guess base to deluxe to premium deluxe version, because I have them all now. So yeah, that'll be great. No one's actually given me a request yet because it does take me a little while to kind of figure out usually where I want to go. My general thing that I do is I do main big flights in the 747 from somewhere to somewhere, usually from a place I've flown to in the 747 before, but then I do quite a few flights out of that destination in the other planes. So like from now, like how I flew from to this airport in the 747, now I'm flying from it to another one in this, and then like do some flights to local airports in the region. That's generally what I do, but I don't mind anything at all really. If you guys have any suggestions, so please do let me know.
Parking brake.
This
Set.
is a good way of
Battery
learning
switches.
where everything is in the plane as well. So here's the electrical stuff. That's good.
On. Generator switches. On. APU knob.
Oh, this is beautiful inside.
TAWS system test.
Singapore ground, Air New Zealand 0908. Could you please send a ground power unit?
Yeah, cool. That worked well.
Air New Zealand 0908. The ground power unit is on the road.
I love that. That's great. It's working how I wanted it with the. I finally realized what the hell. What are you doing? I finally realized what they were meaning with that. The flight number and the call sign. So I've just put the call sign as Air New Zealand and the flight number is 0908. What on earth are you doing? Ooh, it's a Garmin G3000. That's great. That's going to help us a lot. I wonder how fleshed out it is. Honestly, what is this? Oh my god. Where's the the plug for the ground power unit meant to go? On the side there? Bro, what are you doing? Oh my gosh. This thing is pretty stupid. Kind of entertaining to watch. Okay, here we go. Usually when it does that, just the random spin, it's just forcing it. And they haven't modeled, by the looks of it, the cable going in. Alright, let's get this off for now. That's one because oil pressure brake, parking brake, auxiliary boost pump on, and battery ampage. So we're going to come down here. Bus tires closed, but we're going to want, not sure. On. Tying all the buses up. Okay, it needs to be closed in.
Oral warning, okay.
Alright, I'm just having a quick little look around here, see if there's anything. Else is this touchscreen? Is this? Probably not. Let's. Oh, that's great. Look at that. We've got one here too. You can use whatever one you're most comfortable with. That's brilliant. Let's start getting some of these lights on. Emergency lights, I guess. I'm not sure. Wing lights, anti-collision, tail flood, pack safety, seat belts. Short pulse is. Everyone will be beacon. And we've got the HUD up here, but we can't actually do anything with it. It's fine. The HUD's not done, even though it is in the 7. The other plane. Now, it seems a bit dark along here. Do we have any control over these lights? No. A phone here. Sorry guys, I know this is taking a little while. I'm just very new. Actually, let's just go 25% brightness. Never used this plane. This is the very first time using it. This might help. It's 100. That's 100. Hoping it would maybe light up around here. Doesn't look like there's anything. Is there two? Got a little switch. I wonder what that is for. Okay, I suppose instead of fluffing about, and I just say that, and I'm going back to fluffing about. Barometer, PFD, direct, com, nav. This one at 250 max. And full flaps. Oh, flaps 2 and then full 180. Depressurize before landing. How do I do that? Yeah, cabin dump. Engine starts. If you bleed off. Engine bleeds off for now, even though they will come on later. Wing anti-ice. That's something I need to find. Anti-ice stuff. Hydraulic pumps. Fuel boost pumps. Fuel valve. Fuel crossfeed. What do we have here on this guy, on the co-pilot side? Same stuff. Hours, brand new, eh? Lucky me. Alright. I normally come over here. Do I have a torch? Or is that just... Might drop the brightness a little bit. 15 was fine. Right. Because that was a bit glary. Okay, so this is different. Like, you know, if you guys remember on the Garmin stuff, there's two sets of pages. There's the map page and the MFD page and stuff like that. So this is the map page, or whatever, PFD page. GPS. Bearing 1, bearing 2 can be nav 1. I'll come over here. Weather radar, vertical. No info of the weather. Yes, let's. Okay, never mind. That's right. That's what that is. All right. Aircraft systems, lighting config. That should be at 100%. Bugs. Won't do speed bugs right at the moment. Oh wait. Right. Cool, that looks fine to me. Let's start plugging away. Flight plan. Origin. We are at WSSS. Airport, enter. And a destination is WIII. Is correct. Add on route. Waypoint. We are taking the Anito 7F departure to Anito. So first point is Anito. Travel nautical miles. One thing that really upsets me about the Garmin G3000 is we don't have the option to put in airways, which is really silly. Remove waypoint that way, that's cool. Activate log to waypoint direct to insert before, insert after. And put down an altitude if I really want. It's a little bit disappointing, to be honest, because having an airway, let's see, can I right click it? Right clicking doesn't let me do anything. Alright, so we're going to do these airways manually. So they want us taking the airway B470. Anita was the first point, wasn't it? Wow. Oh, that's funny. One of the points that we have in our departure is a VOR called BTM. That's awesome. That should be my home airport. Anito, next point after Anito is, okay, it doesn't really matter, it's just straight to the next one by the looks of this. Yeah, it's just next point is direct anyway, even though it says airway. KP, there's any duplicates, doesn't look like it. And that's 137 nautical miles away from where we are. Okay. And then the W26 airway to Boslow. And that is also direct despite it being an airway. Next is Munich, another direct, even though it's on an airway as well. But they're all directs. They're within airways. After Munich, it's just direct to the airport. That's cool. That's us done. And for some reason we don't have an arrival. But I will put one in. Procedures, departure, departing at airport, runway. It has us on runway 20 right, but let's have a look at the ATIST.
Singapore Airport information Zulu 1100 Zulu. Wind
Landing, departing 20 center, 20 right.
Visibility 6. Sky condition.
Right.
Few clouds at 2,400 feet. A few clouds at
2971
4,800 feet. A few
QNH.
clouds at 18,000.
Weird. Cool. Currently landing runway. I wish it wouldn't have one already pre-selected because it's the wrong runway. You want runway 25 left. And we're coming in. Sorry, that was my phone. Coming in onto Point Munich. Let's see if there's a Buni. Here we go, Buni. 25. Alright, not that one. And what's this one? Row 24. No, I want row 25. So we want, there we go. And we want the ILS onto runway 25 right. 25 left, sorry. Wait. Here we run one row 25 left. Alright. 24. 25 right. Why do they want us on runway? This runway here. How long is it? Yeah, 25 right's the bigger runway. So I think I will edit flight. Change the one-way. 25 right. Then generate. I don't know if it's longer or not. I didn't check, but we don't exactly need a long runway with this. But yes, that's saying we want the Munich 2H. That's fine, I'm happy with that now. And that's 25 right. All right. So our approach speed, I'm not sure what VX is, but our rotate speed is 120 knots. Our best rate of climb is 185, and our approach speed is 149. North up is fine. North up, heading up, track up. Yeah, north up, I prefer. So I'll just click that again just to. All right. That's it. GPS, nav1, speed bugs, PFD settings. Angle of attack on, wind on. I think it's option 3. Yes, cool. SVT terrain on. Alright. And since we're doing 25 right, we've got minimums of where's our minimums? It's at 149, so we're going faster, so we probably have a higher speed, so we'll be Cat C and D probably, so 290 for our minimums. And that'll be 290. All right. Think we're ready?
Singapore ground, Air New Zealand 0908 ready to copy IFR clearance to Soekarno-Hatta.
Air New Zealand 0908 is cleared to Soekarno-Hatta Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 20 center climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure frequency is 121.625 squawk 5313.
20C, huh?
Air New Zealand 0908 cleared to Soekarno-Hatta Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 20 center climb and maintain 10,000 feet. Departure on 121.625 squawk 5313.
Air New Zealand 0908 readback is correct. Contact ground on 124.3 when ready to taxi. Good day.
Alright, so come back down in here. Procedures. Departure. You want an Ito 7B. Right, now I want to have a look at this. Make sure that looks okay. So what do we have control of? Map pan. More map pan. Pointer mode. There we go. Look, there's that point BTM there, and it's showing the planes there even, which is quite nice. Hang on, can I just drag and drop? Oh, I can. That's cool. I never thought to check that. I probably should have. We've even got wind there. Gotta love touchpad technology. Wonder how long the runway is though. They look about the same length. Probably find that information, the airport information. Got the chart here. So the runway 25 right is 3,600 meters, and runway 25 left is 3,660. So it's ever so slightly longer. So that's fine. We're fine. All right. I'm quite happy with that. And a quick little look at the radios, navs. We want, for the ILS is 110.9. Is that plugged in here? We've got a little scroll bar here. Okay. Active frequency 110.9. And the same for nav2 110.9. reason that changed. I'm not sure what's actually being used. One Conte. ICX is for that one, the nav one. So I think our active top one here. The active frequency there, yeah. 110.9 active, 110.9 active one for that. Data, yeah, cool, that's fine, I'm happy with that. How do I turn the volume on for these? I suppose I can't, so I can hear. Okay, just went night. Alright, that's fine, I'm happy with that. And let's get this zoomed in a little bit more.
Singapore ground, Jetstar Asia 541 requesting pushback.
Jetstar Asia, eh?
Jetstar Asia 541 pushback request accepted.
There's a Jetstar Asia. That's quite neat. Alright, I'm ready for taxi.
Singapore ground, Air New Zealand 0908 with Zulu ready to taxi IFR.
Air New Zealand 0908 taxi to and hold short of runway 20 center via taxiway Lima 5 Lima 7 Lima 6 Sierra Charlie
Jesus.
1 Echo Papa Echo November. Contact tower on 118.61
Fuck
ready.
that.
Taxi to and hold short runway 20 center via taxiway Lima 5 Lima 7 Lima 6 Sierra Charlie 1 Echo Papa Echo November Air New Zealand 0908.
Oh, jeez. Alright, ATIS.
Singapore Airport Information Zilla
1171.
1100 Zulu. Wind 110 at 5. Visibility 6. Sky condition, few clouds at 2,400 feet, a few clouds at 4,800 feet, 18,900 feet scattered. Temperature.
Actually, I want ground. Alright, we're not ready just yet. We want to get the rest of this cabin inspection stuff done.
APU knob. Start. APU RPM.
Singapore ground, Jetstar Asia 541 requesting the end of pushback. Jetstar Asia 541 request to end pushback received. Singapore ground, Jetstar Asia 541 with Zulu ready to taxi IFR. Jetstar Asia 541 taxi to and hold short of
Stabilizes
runway
98%
20 center via
100%.
taxiway uniform 4 uniform 2 Whiskey Alpha November Charlie Tree Echo November.
APU gen switch.
Contact tower on 118.61 ready.
External power. Off. Bat amps, both. 0 or charging.
Taxiing hold short runway 20 center using taxiway uniform 4 uniform 2 Whiskey Alpha November Charlie Tree Echo November Jetstar Asia 541.
Singapore ground, Air New Zealand 0908 requesting pushback.
Air New Zealand 0908 pushback request accepted. Jetstar Asia 541 hold position caution other traffic. Hold position, Jetstar Asia 541.
And we want to turn to the left.
Singapore ground, Air New Zealand 0908 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left.
Air New Zealand 0908, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Sorry guys, this is taking ages. I'm just getting used to the plane learning.
Jetstar Asia 541, continue taxi.
Damn it.
Singapore ground, Air New Zealand 0908 requesting the end of pushback.
Air New Zealand 0908, request to end pushback received. Roger, Jetstar Asia 541.
Come on. Right, checklist.
Power levers. Idle. Fuel valve.
That's annoying me.
Open. Right engine run/stop button. Run. Right engine starter button. Push. Engine instruments. Monitor. Power levers. Idle. Left engine run/stop button.
Singapore Tower, Singapore 137 is going missed.
Left engine starter button. Push. Engine instruments. Monitor.
Alright, that's all good. Engine blades on. Don't see any lights on the tail. We'll keep them on anyway. Lights. Put those on. I'll turn them off just for now. Pulse. Those on the underside. The wingtips. Ignition lights. There's the tail floodlight. Recognition lights right there. Green and red. No taxi lights, huh? Weird. Seems to be a lot of delay and lag with the tail stuff. Recognition off. Recognition on. Okay. Weird. So the taxi lights don't actually work by the looks of it. Let's just get all those on. That's alright now. Alright, is there anything else? Ignition starters on. So the starter can does that start the taxi lights? No. Okay. Alright, I think that's us. Actually, I want to get rid of this just again quickly. I want to find the anti-ice stuff. Sorry guys, I know this is taking a little while. Electrical main. Oh, I need APU off. Don't I? Volts and amps, it's draining, but AP is 100%. Let's turn off APU. APU's powering down. Off, I guess, the APU generator. Alright, let's start getting a move on. Minutes in, jeez. That's taken us a while. Ground speed's 11 knots. That's good. Actually, are we slowing down? We are a bit. Put us to 15% N1. That's 2's 15. Flaps full is 35. So 25% power or percent throttle lever to get us running. The engines sound good now. This is a very modern plane. This got a type rating, I think, 2008, 2019. Autopilot stuff. Nav mode on. Flight level change. It was 185, wasn't it? Our best rate. Alright, let's carry on trying to figure this out. Flight directors, do we have yaw dampers, altitude, CDR, what was this? Fire, bank, back course mode, heading, approach, autopilot nav mode, and flight level change, vertical speed, flight directors. Alright, that's actually working now. Five. So we ended up getting put right at the very end of the terminal. I don't see any yaw dampeners. So it must be an automatic thing, which is very nice. We've got our max speeds for certain things. Got a synthetic vision, we're at 50 knots. I still haven't found any anti-ice stuff. Looks like the anti-ice stuff though is down here for engine stuff. Wings, anti-ice. Nothing to do with... I'll do that once we're up in the air. I don't really want to fluff about any longer than I already have. Doesn't look like there's anything else around in the cabin to sort. Okay, we slow down a bit. So it looks like 15 is the way to go. And we're probably going uphill. It certainly feels a bit like it when we went up before. That area was pretty crap. So I want to look at something. I'm going to quickly turn off taxi lights. See what happens to the lighting. If anything changed. Or if, like, the direction, do they go out, extending out as far? Can't tell. Not really. So it looks like the taxi lights in this plane are broken. Finally, we're getting to the end of the runway. And someone's gone for an excursion. Okay, cool, that shows that. Check. Well, that's a bit annoying. That works at least with the deflectors, but it doesn't show the ailerons and rudder. It's meant to. It doesn't clearly. Hour into the stream, and we haven't even taken off yet. Thought it might be wanting us to come off this way. Would it be nice to maybe do this a little bit earlier to get to grips with the plane, and then just to give myself some time to get used to it, so we could maybe go during the daytime. But oh well, a night flight's always good. something I want to check before we enter the runway. This like that. I have a feeling because I've activated on here. No, 10.9 is selected. 10.9. Active is 10.9. That's fine then. This rate of climb is 185, even though my flight plan brief said 250, but whatever. Wind option 3, that should be on here. I suppose there's no wind yet, so we don't know. Alright, let's get in contact with ATC. Let's tell them we're ready to rock and roll.
Singapore Tower, Air New Zealand 0908 at runway 20 center, ready for departure IFR to Soekarno-Hatta.
Oh no, they glitched.
Cleared for takeoff runway 20 center, Air New Zealand 0908.
Take that. That sucks. So the call sign for this plane is C700. Well, that's the type. Cessna Citation Longitude is a Cessna Model 700, apparently. Someone coming into the land. You gonna hurry up and go, mate? I know I can just fly straight through it, but... Wait, did I get clearance? Oh, yes, I did. Oops, I forgot to check what we're actually climbing to. We're meant to be going to flight level 410. This doesn't go, I'm just gonna go. Still not gone. Alright, screw this. Let's just Let's just go. This guy's like crashed or something. That's probably the reason for the audio going messed up.
Decimal 625 for Air New Zealand 0908. Singapore departure Air New Zealand 0908 is passing 2,400 feet, climbing 10,000 feet. One two three decimal 7 for Air New Zealand 0908. Passing 6,000 feet, climbing 10,000 feet. Singapore Center, Air New Zealand 0908 requests destination change to Soekarno-Hatta. Air New Zealand 0908 cleared to Soekarno-Hatta Airport as filed. Squawk 5313. Returning and following heading 200, resume on navigation, climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Air New Zealand 0908. Center, Air New Zealand 0908. Request flight level 210. Climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Expect flight level 210. Air New Zealand 0908. Singapore Center, Air New Zealand 0908. Request flight level 310.
Some things are preset.
Climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Expect flight level 310. Air New Zealand 0908. Singapore Center, Air New Zealand 0908. Request flight level 410. Climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Expect flight level 410. Air New Zealand 0908.
We're about to pass over that point. BTM. There's another plane near us. And we can take off our landing light, taxi, pulse wind, tail flood.
flight level 230 Air New Zealand 0908.
And what do we have these planned? Hold on. Probably. Yeah, 10% is about right. We don't need wing. Definitely want the recognition lights then. No, don't need that. Is that what this is? No.
Climb and maintain flight level 300 Air New Zealand 0908.
Those lights are still on. I don't see anything changing. Alright. Alright, tail. Emergency lights. Then, alright. $15 nautical miles. $50, we can see where the other aircraft are. One thing I'm noticing that I haven't seen
Climb and maintain flight level 410 Air New Zealand 0908.
is our wind. Normally that comes up here somewhere. Unless It's weird, it should be somewhere around here, showing us the wind direction and speed. Now we've got it up here, which is nice. Bugs there. It looks like that's a bug with this version of the G3000 in this plane, or just a bug in this general version, and just in this bug in this stream, perhaps in this session of playing. We've got a crosswind. Got no weather data popping up. Now, I wonder if I could have something to do with the fact that I've got the nav stuff and the bearings showing. So if I turn that stuff off, okay, 80th off, because now there's more room, but no, nothing. I have a feeling it's because of the minimums. Yep, okay, that's what it was, because I put the minimums on. So there we go. I'm sure the G3000 would have them both on at the same time. Because you kind of want to see both. You want to know what you're dealing with in terms of wind. Is there a way I can position it better? Perhaps. Where's that map range here? That's for the little map down here. Where is it? It should be. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. So I can't control that map. Oh, hang on. Okay, so it was changing this one. For this one, it's at 150 now. I want 50 so I can see that, and I better starting to get to red tape. There's still, even though this is a really modern plane from like maybe 3 years ago, well, I think it was announced in 2015, 2016 or something like that, but it was type rated in 2018. Drop it to 80% for cruise. She's going into a red tape.
Overspeed. 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 Overspeed.
least she doesn't do what the CJ4 does.
Overspeed. 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 Overspeed.
Yes, yes.
Overspeed. 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 Overspeed.
Alright, I need to check when we're actually going to make our descent. Alright, let's see, when is our top of descent? Our top of descent is 56 miles from Point Bunnik. 56 from Bunnik. If I can have a look at this.
120.9 for Air New Zealand 0908. Jakarta Center Air New Zealand 0908 flight level 410.
There must be something to control that little inserted map. I really want to play with some of the fuel stuff. Oh. It's cool, so we've got ground spoilers. Where is our speed brake here? Alright, that's cool. Power reserve. Alright, anything else down here to play with? I've got the APU off. Pipes. Touch that, can't do that. It's engine bleed, that's fine. For cabin pressure, APU bleed. Be off, the APU is off. There's nothing for anti-ice apart from here, but we can't do anything about it apart from the air bleed, and that needs to be on for pressurization. need that. And is this a cup holder or something? It's a bit dangerous. It's a dangerous spot to have it. Nothing here. Hydraulics. I'm not going to touch those and play with those in mid-flight. Alright, now there was something I just wanted to check, but I forgot. Pressurization, do we have anything? The pressure within the cabin. Cabin altitude, 8,132 feet, changing by 5 feet per minute. Real air temperature is RAT, I'm guessing is real air temperature, and then outside air temperature. But what's the our temperature in the cabin? Maybe I should put the see what happens if I put the APU gen on, if this changes anything to the batteries. No. Alright. Might as well sim rate it since we're here. We're not fluctuating, and I clicked sim rate by 3 clicks. While we're in here, I need to check. Got approach, but do I have a lock? LOC, I guess it will be nav mode.
Overspeed. Overspeed.
Again, really?
Overspeed. 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 Overspeed.
I'll put engine power back up to 55%. I've just dropped it to 54. At 1 point, that seems to be alright.
Overspeed. 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 Overspeed.
Alright, flight director. Vertical speed, vertical VNAV. I don't know if it's a fully... Okay, we've got auto throttle here. It's gone up to 55 and I know I put it down 53. They really should have auto throttle settings somewhere up here, but they don't. So that's something to keep an eye on. I don't have a lock thing. I've got heading mode. I have to do approach. Yeah, it should switch over to nav mode automatically then by the looks of it. And where's our landing gear? Gear. Do we have auto brakes? Ah, here's our ice protection. Oh, that's bad. We want pitot always on. We want engine on. That will fine. ISA inside. Air temperature. If that's the case, I need to get some heat going. Drop down to 54, so it's doing a good job. So that means when I disconnect the auto throttle and I come into land, I need to remember to hit this. I wonder if I can put it to full throttle and then let's do that. Let's see what happens. It doesn't let me control the throttle. Let's say I want to do this. Auto throttle off. Forward.
Overspeed.
Throttle on. Okay, so it's mechanical, so it does it for itself. That's cool.
Overspeed. 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 Overspeed.
And can I change this? No, so I've set it to FMS mode, manual mode. I'm targeting 5255, right under red tape. 50 nautical miles for that. Can't change the map insert there, and the inside air temperature, if that's what that is. ISA is not changing. Got that on max for the hot air. Maybe that's what the GPU is for, perhaps. APU. Put the APU bleed on, just to see what happens. APU generator on. See if that changes that. I don't really think that's going to be helpful. I need to keep an eye on where I am as well. So I said 50 something nautical miles from Munich, didn't I? APU's up and running 100%. I don't know what our internal cabin pressure is. So I am assuming here ISA is immediate surface air temperature. Okay, that's the ISA is the standard sea level temperature pressure. International standard atmosphere. Alright. .56 to Munich is when we want to start our descent. Check 110.9, 110.9. And let's see what's next. If I scroll out, I could probably just go flight plan, to be honest. Okay, next is Munich. So I should probably put in our ATIS for Jakarta, which is 12685. And that's what I want for our COM2. Check that. 2685, that is correct. 129 is our ILS. Right, and we want to be at, just scroll all the way down. want to be at 2,000 feet by Point Pakar. That means Mon. Does that say Mon? It's Mon, whatever that means. We're nearly at Munich, so I need to start getting ready to go down at 56 miles out. I should start asking permission to lower, and we want 2,000.
Jakarta Center, Air New Zealand 0908. Request flight level 310.
Pardon me.
Descend and maintain flight level 310, Air New Zealand 0908. Jakarta Center, Air New Zealand 0908. Request flight level 210. Descend and maintain flight level 310. Expect flight level 210, Air New Zealand 0908.
Overspeed.
Descend and maintain flight level 210, Air New Zealand 0908.
Overspeed.
Got a few planes coming in with us. It's not a new see it.
Jakarta Center, Air New Zealand 0908. Requesting.
The reason why I put dashes in the call sign is because it wouldn't let me do spaces. It just all put them together and wouldn't let me do underscores.
Turning and following heading 200, resume on navigation, Air New Zealand 0908.
We have a final course of 248 degrees as well, so I might put that in right now for our heading. That's the runway heading. So heading bug up there, 248. My engine's on idle. I should start reducing my speed, to be honest. Let's see, I want ILS 25 right.
Please stand by Air New Zealand 0908.
I have no idea what they asked me.
Jakarta Center, can Air New Zealand 0908 get runway 25 right? Stand by Air New Zealand 0908. Air New Zealand 0908 with like ILS runway 25 right approach Priok transition. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Keep speed not above 190 knots. Expect ILS runway 25 right approach via Priok transition. Cleared to Priok Air New Zealand 0908.
Alright. Should probably have a look to see if we've got. Let's put some of these floodlights on. The lights. Some of this brightness up. Right. A bit too bright, to be honest, but the anti-ice we should probably put. Okay, we don't need to be going down that fast. There's Priok, our first point in. A car. Let's have a look. Dock 3000. I wonder if I can use VNAV. VNAV, sorry. That do anything? Doesn't seem to do anything. So do we have the METAR now? QNH 1006. I can't change to 1006, so I wonder if I can do the pressure stuff. Wind's at 230. See if I can do that on my calculator. Oh, I can't. Okay, unit converter. $29.71 from the table I just looked at. I suppose I should start getting the minimums ready. And we wanted 290. Speed bugs are on. The approach is 149.
Jakarta Center, Air New Zealand 0908 requesting vector to next waypoint. Continue to Prio turning
Krakatoa is somewhere around here.
200 Air New Zealand 0908.
I think Krakatoa is more out that way on the map. If you follow this map, it's more up. Let's drop our speed.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Oh, shush.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Doesn't like me being that low.
Landing gear.
I'm fine.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing
Let's zoom
gear.
in, actually.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Okay, now we're at 50. I wasn't at 50 before, that's odd. I'm there. Should be another one behind somewhere there. And I suppose I should start getting landing lights and all that on. And I still have the APU on, don't I? That was a bit silly. I totally forgot I still had that on. Alright, we've got the nav one picking up.
Soekarno-Hatta Airport information, Mike 1300 Zulu.
2968.
Flight 291 at 4. Visibility, tree.
I don't know why I said not in use. 2968.
One two five decimal 45 Air New Zealand 0908.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Jakarta approach Air New Zealand 0908 3000 feet.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Our angle of attack's getting pretty high. The angle of attack's dropped. When we get to our cut, that's when we want to start dropping, and I'll start dropping down actually.
Descend and maintain 2000 feet Air New Zealand 0908.
Okay, it's automatically gone to lock mode, that's good.
Landing gear. 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 Landing gear.
Shush.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
I need to keep this shit up here because I can't hear them talking to me.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Am I going over speed here? I wanna.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Am I at
Landing gear.
10 nautical miles? That's fine.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
It's
Landing
really
gear.
dangerous.
Landing
Oh
gear.
fuck, he's about to come into me.
Landing gear. Landing gear.
What the?
Landing gear. Landing gear.
Don't
Landing
tell me
gear.
it suddenly changed.
Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Tower on 120.25 Air New Zealand 0908. Tower Air New Zealand 0908, 12 miles northeast inbound ILS runway 25 right approach. Cleared ILS runway 25 right approach Air New Zealand 0908.
Okay, I am not happy with what it's doing.
Gear. Landing gear.
It's not lined up.
Gear. Landing gear. Landing gear. Landing gear.
It's not even lined up with the damn runway yet. Definitely not happy with that. Getting there, but it's a bit too close for comfort for my liking. I kind of wanted it to follow the GPS a bit more. I should have forced it, but I don't know how to take it and put it into lock mode manually. Yes, toggle nav mode off. So now it's on the glide path. Got a plane under me. Wow.
Cleared to land runway 25 right Air New Zealand 0908.
25 right. Okay, it is selected. I need to auto throttle off because this is starting to bug out. It's way overshot. I'm not sure what it's doing, and I'm not liking that at all. I have to manually Oh, I'm not doing a go around.
Ground Air New Zealand 0908 request taxi to parking. Taxiing to General Aviation Parking using taxiway November 5 November Papa 2 November Charlie Yankee November Papa 1 November Papa Whiskey Whiskey Charlie 2 Sierra Papa Whiskey Whiskey Charlie 1 Sierra Papa 1 Air New Zealand 0908.
That was a little bit hairy, wasn't it? For some reason, it wasn't following the lock. It was in lock mode and it wasn't following it. That was probably because I had VNav on. Maybe that was messing up with it, so I needed. Get that off. That was worse. Something is slowing her down. Does she have auto braking on? I wouldn't have a clue, to be honest. Alright, let's get this map in, zoomed in a bit. Yeah, I thought something was a bit weird. Unless I had the wrong runway for some reason. I had 25 right, I had the right one. I don't know, the whole thing was just strange. Should really probably bring up the ATC chat because they're probably upset with me. Nope, okay. And I can be upset with them myself. Oh, there's the ground floodlight. But since they don't want to give me instructions with voice. But I really should have a look at seeing if that's due to why we're slowing down so much. Why are you slowing down so much, plane? Is there auto braking on? Boost pumps, no transfer. Blah, 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 blah. Not that I can tell. Anti-ground spoilers, no trim. Where I'm going. Maybe it's just up a hill slightly, or rough ground I'm on. That's neat that these have a thrust reverser. Wasn't expecting that. The CJ4 doesn't. So I'll probably, like, this plane's really nice. I love it. Like, it just looks great. It flies great. It's really fast and powerful like the CJ4, but even faster. Flies further and faster. There's a bigger plane though. Oh, do we have taxi lights on? Taxi lights are on now. That's weird. This plane is definitely bugged. There's some bugs in it, and I have a feeling they're never going to patch it. Definitely got taxi lights now. And we've got the tail floodlight. So I should, when we straighten up, I'll put the APU back on. Still got the taxi lights on. Yes, it was a bit hairy. I knew there was something wrong when the it didn't line up on entry. I thought that was a bit strange, but maybe it's an issue with the auto throttle, perhaps. I'm not too sure. Maybe the auto throttle was getting in the way of it. I have a feeling it's VNav though, because I had VNav on and I forgot to turn it off. I think that was. Okay, so I could have switched on here my source to nav1, but there should be a manual source. There really should be on procedure. I'll have a look when we're in a parking spot, which, well, we're not going to be parking for a while, so. So note to self, I'll put it into GPS mode. I don't know why nav mode came off on its own though. Maybe that's the problem. I think that was the problem. It was just stuck in heading mode. Yeah, lock there. Now GPS. Yeah, I should have done that and then gone straight to nav1. And I think nav needed to be on because it needs to follow for the lateral navigation. It needs to follow that, and that turned off automatically when I hit approach. And I think that was the issue. I think that was definitely the issue. And where was approach mode? There's autopilot, APR approach, heading select. Actually, did I hit heading select by accident? I might have, because our heading is selected as 248 still. And that should have been fine, kind of. Oh, maybe not. Not until we got lined up, at least. But yeah. I don't know. It's just really annoying. I'm glad some of the stuff is actually working now on the plane. Like the taxi lights are working, the tail floodlights are working. So I was so confused. And that's why it took so long for us to even get off the ground. Spent an hour on the bloody ground trying to figure out what the hell stuff did in the plane because stuff didn't seem to work. And now suddenly it does. It's now suddenly working. But when we were on the ground, we had communication with ATC, which is great. And then when we're in the air now, we don't. Where the hell is it wanting us to park? All the way over there, eh? Fuck's sakes. It's my ground speed. Do I have ground speed there? So I do 9 knots. Okay, I can afford to go faster. A little bit too fast. I'll go to 17. Knots. We'll probably pop to 12. I can't exceed 15. Well, I can if I want, but 20% lever. jumps. The next flight I want to do, I want to use the 787-10 Dreamliner that I got with the Premium Deluxe Edition, and I want to fly it from here to Kuala Lumpur, in Malaysia. Going a bit fast. Maybe we should have taken off, landed on the other runway, since they want us to park all the way over here. Yeah, that was pretty annoying that they had us wanting us to go missed because a plane overtook us during landing. Even though that plane should have been going slower than what we were. Since most large airliners actually land at like 146, and we were at like 149s because even though we're lighter, we don't have exactly the largest wing. That's what generates us the lift that we need to be able to stay aloft at slower speeds. Especially with the massive bloody flat settings they can use. But yeah, I'm not sure why that error happened. It just auto-switched to locator mode. And I didn't really want it to. I didn't register that nav mode was off because it didn't tell me. Apart from the little light not being selected. But it didn't notice it because it said that, but it just wasn't hooking onto it. I think it was just something broken, really, with it. Something not accurate with it in this instance. I think I should have just stuck with GPS mode and then gone lock. At least that way would have been more accurate. And then gone with glide slope, but the lock should be more accurate than GPS. Way more. Well, come on. Our ramp is still half a kilometre away. This is nuts. So I probably should do that in the daytime with the Dreamliner, so we get a good view of the plane itself and of the scenery. Like, I could always go into the weather and turn live time off and do that, but I'd rather use live weather. As soon as I do not non-live weather and stuff, then so I can get the correct time of day that I want. The hell is it wanting us to go? That just told us to go the completely wrong way. I don't even know if we can get onto this taxiway from here. Definitely doesn't just flow. We probably needed to turn left up at that other junction just before that grass patch there and follow that along, and it probably hooks up onto here. Yeah, I won't. I'll do the Dreamliner another time. I got the Cessna Baron the G58 Baron, that's the premium one that has, I think, auto throttle stuff. I think that's the one, the most powerful one. And also got a Bonanza with the premium deluxe edition, so pretty good stuff. I was hoping there would maybe be a turboprop in there. I don't know if the Bonanza's turboprop or the Baron. I don't think they are. They're not as fast as something like the King Air or the TBM. I hope we get an update to the TBM to maybe get it upgraded to the, or even a separate TBM, to the 960 model that's just come out, because that's got auto throttle and a full FADEX system, fully automated electronic control unit for the engines, so everything's electronic type thing, so no like feathering and all that stuff in flight idle, low idle, high idle. It's just you set it at idle and it does what you want it to do, and then you just start accelerating and controls the pitch, prop pitch, and all that sweet stuff. It also maintains the best performance for the engine for efficiency and longevity, so the engine doesn't die in real life. Helps increase the lifespan. Why are you stopping? We have a ground power unit there, that's awesome. Okay, so thrust reverse opens up the back, which is awesome. From 20% to 50 or 51. Really awesome. It's got a thrust reverser. Yeah, TR deploy. Okay. Figured that was what that was for. Alright, can we turn this off? No. Alright. Well, there was no auto brake from the looks of it, unless... Oh, that's interesting. Let's see. Do we have any hours? We've got hours there listed. Cool. 1.5 hours. It logs my actual hours. That's cool. That probably needed to be on, disarm, so it was probably slowing me down with auto brakes, probably. I don't know if there was actual auto brakes, but probably. So if you turn off auto throttle disconnect, if I push forward, toga. Is there another button on the side? Oh, here we go. So I'm just fiddling around here. Landing lights, taxi lights can all go off. Tail light, wing lights can go off. Anti-collision lights and pulse. For now, they can stay on. Now, so before landing, I need to dump the air pressure, and I forgot to. Depressurize before landing. That's pointless doing that. I've reset. Alright. 6.5 minutes of daytime flight for some reason. Makes sense. Alright, so thanks for tuning in, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, hit that follow button so you get notified when I go live next with whatever I go live next with. I'll also be exporting this to my YouTube channel, so if you guys are interested in checking that out, because I upload all my clips there, which I can't do to Twitch, then follow the link underneath my live stream panel, as well as in the past stream description. Likewise, if you're on my YouTube channel and want to follow my Twitch where I do all my live stuff, follow the link in the channel banner, as well as the past stream description. And yeah, if you guys mosey on over to my YouTube channel and like what you see, then why not help me out and subscribe? It would mean a hell of a lot to me, and I'd very much appreciate it. As always, drop a comment on stuff you guys would like to see me do next, or things you think I could do better with, or just to pop on and say hey, and also give me recommendations, please, of any flights you'd like me to do next, or see me do. Like, give me a departure, an arrival, maybe even a plane, but nothing too extreme in terms of flight time, please. I don't really have the time to just sit around for like 4 or 5 hours, even 3 is pushing it. But yeah, drop any recommendations, because I'll be more than happy to do them, because I sit here for a little bit just trying to figure out where the hell I want to go and from where most of the time. These liveries, these are all fake. British Airways don't operate the 747-8i, Lufthansa does, American Airlines doesn't, and Alitalia, I'm pretty sure, don't. The only other ones that do, there's Lufthansa definitely does, South Korean Air, and I think there is one more. I think China Southern or China Eastern operate passenger service for the 747-8, which is very sad that not as many people decided to take it up, because it's pretty much the death nail for the Queen of the Skies, which sucks. Gorgeous aircraft. British Airways looks nice, but they definitely operated the Dash 4s. I'm pretty sure they didn't get any Dash 8s, or maybe they've got orders for some, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that's stopped production already. There's a lot of freight versions though, operated by many different people, but yeah. American's not one that operates them either. I don't even know if they do the flight. I know United do, I think, and FedEx possibly. Yeah, those are the only ones. Now, a livery pack I definitely want is this for the A320neo, and I hope they bring out one for the Dreamliner, which I think they will be. It's because they've got two of the ones that I get in my country, Jetstar and Air New Zealand. I don't know if we've got an All Blacks version of the Air New Zealand. Definitely do for the Dreamliner. We've got this version for the Dreamliner, and then we've got the All Blacks version, which is our national rugby team, but the whole entire plane is black. Like the tail section, the whole thing is black, apart from the wings. Normally, Jetstar only operate the A320 that I've seen in the past, but like the older ones. But I've noticed recently they operate the Dreamliners now too, which is quite interesting. They definitely look good. There's a screenshot of one in here for the Neo at least. I think it's this one. No. Peach Airways for this one, or the Jetstar? The Jetstar. I have a feeling it's actually, this shot is taken somewhere in New Zealand, my country. I'm not sure where, but something about it strikes me as kind of near where I live, because of the inlet to the Manukau Harbour, which is where the airport is, Auckland Airport, if that's what that is. But yeah. Anywho, I think we've got a world update or a decent sized update coming for this in the next day or two as well, so that'll be interesting. So yeah, that's what I really wanted to do. I guess let's just take a good look at this plane. So we couldn't get a good look on the ground. Very nice. And as opposed to, you can see she's got a lot more duration and size is definitely bigger. This is definitely pretty. A thrust reverser though, but it's definitely smaller. The next plane I'll definitely be using is... There's the Baron and there's the Bonanza. I don't really have the speed of a turboprop, to be honest. Yeah, they're just a normal prop. Yeah, because of the cooling and the air inlet stuff, so there's nothing like turboprops, so they always have usually an upper or a below inlet. Normal props always have that. Now, I got a new 152, so there it is, Aerobat. I'm not sure what the difference is. Guessing it's aerobatic. I really wish they would make a working version of this, of a DC-10 or DC-11 or MD-11. I think it got changed too. There we go, Dreamliner. Ever so slightly faster cruise speed than the 747-8. Doesn't fly anywhere near as high though. Max altitude, well, almost as high, but I meant range. I was looking at the wrong thing. And we've got one real world airline livery for it. I'm not sure if Pacifica is. KLM, which is cool, and we can't, for some reason, we don't have access to a round view for the aircraft. But there is something off to me about this livery. It looks a bit too fair. The blue in it is too light. KLM to me has always been darker, like the dark blue strip that's underneath it. That separates the light blue and the white. That's what I've always seen KLM as being, that colour. So I'm not too sure really with that. But apart from that, it's great. Alrighty, everyone. Peace out and have a good one. I'll catch you in the next one.